There was an old lady who lived in a small house on the edge of town. She was known for her strange behavior and the eerie way she would stare at people with her piercing eyes. One day, a group of kids decided to play a trick on the old lady. They dressed up in costume and knocked on her door, pretending to be trick-or-treaters. The old lady answered the door, but instead of handing out candy, she just stood there, staring at the kids with those creepy eyes. The kids laughed and ran away, thinking it was all just a joke. But as they were running, they heard the old lady start to cackle maniacally. They looked back and saw her standing on the porch, holding a knife and muttering to herself. The kids ran home and told their parents what had happened, but no one believed them. They thought the kids were just trying to scare each other. But the kids knew what they had seen, and they were terrified. A small kid named Johnny was first. His mother found him in the morning, face spread in agony. His lifeless eyes staring at the ceiling and hands frozen in a grip as if his body was electroshocked to death. Then started the others. Every morning a mother's scream would fill the neighborhood as the poor woman realized that their child was gone. The police were looking for a serial killer, one that targeted young boys and probably electroshocked them to death. They even tried to question the old lady, but whenever they went to her house she would just sit in her old chair rocking herself back and forth. She never uttered a word. The killing lasted for 3 months. Every kid murdered in a more gruesome and grotesque way. There were no clues as to who the murderer could be. One night the parents of the children had enough. Drunken on rage they got together and marched towards the old lady's house. They wanted answers, or revenge. It wasn't clear. They dragged her off her door and started beating her. The old lady didn't show any expression. She just looked at them with her creepy black stare and took the beating. She didn't utter a word. The crowd, blinded in rage, didn't stop and they beat the woman to death. They beat her so hard that they broke her neck. Her head was lying there in a bizarre manner, neck broken and open eyes with the same blank stare that she always gave. That night the deaths of the children started again. But this time the children were found with their necks broken and mouths open as if they were trying to say, "Not me."